students. Today we will start the next part of the chapter, wave particle duality of electromagnetic radiation. Here they say that the light packets, which are called as photon, which are called as quanta, or which are also called, and light energy packets which are available in a stream of light are called as photons. They have certain momentum. They can behave like a wave, they can behave like a particle. They can behave in both the ways. So, hence the question arises whether we have to use the principle of light to it, or we have to use the electromagnetic radiation principle to it, because we have to calculate the energy, the momentum, the force with which the particle comes, then the energy transferred, then the work done by the particle. All these mechanical quantities are to be calculated, and this can happen was first confirmed by a scientist called as Compton, and it was confirmed in the year 1924. So Compton showed that photon has an associated momentum along with energy. It carries all photons of electromagnetic radiation of a particular frequency have same energy and the momentum. Photons are electrically neutral, means they don't have either of the type of charge. Photons can have particulate collision, the collision which happens due to a particle. This collision can either transfer the momentum from one photon to other photon, but the momentum is not conserved. So the energy conservation chances are very less. Photons can be absorbed, or new photons can be created. This is what is found. Moreover, during the transfer of energy and momentum, photons can get converted into energy also. We all know the famous equation by the great scientist Albert Einstein, E is equal to mc square, where if a mass is rotated or is traveling at a speed of light, then in that condition, what happens? In that condition, the mass can get completely converted to energy. That is why the mass may not exist, but the energy is available. When we turn on light, they are created. Photons always move at a speed of light, and they are never at rest. Mass of photon cannot be defined in Newtonian mechanics. Means the mechanics which was defined by Newton, in that we cannot define the mass of photon. Its rest mass is zero in all frames of references. All frames of references means, suppose I am at my home, you are at your home. From your home to my home, there is a light wave traveling having large number of photons. In this, you might be seeing the light wave in other way, and I might be seeing the light wave in other way, or the stream of the light in other way, because of which I might find the photons coming towards me. You might find the photons traveling away from you. So in this condition, the frame of reference of viewing a particular object will change. Same will happen with the stream of photons as well. Effect of wave nature of light, as we have seen in various experiments of interference and diffraction. When slit width changes, the separation between the two slits is smaller or comparable to the wavelength of light. If the slit width is larger, or the spacing between slits is more or less, the interference or diffraction pattern will not be same, and the wave nature will not be so obvious. Means, if you want to experience interference and diffraction, you have to use certain kinds of parameters for the diffraction. Otherwise, you will not experience the required thing. It is realized by that scientists that some phenomena can be generated in the laboratory, like interference and diffraction. But by considering light in a particular way and electromagnetic radiation in general as a wave, on the other hand, there are some other observations: photoelectric effect and black body radiation. For black body radiation, there is absorption of the radiation, there is release of the radiation, and some is being transferred to the universe, or some is producing the some amount of radiation is producing the heat in the body. If we consider electromagnetic radiation as consisting of photons with definite quantum of energy and momentum as evident of from Compton's scattering experiment, also there is some phenomena which can be explained by both the theories. If it is therefore essential to consider that both the characters or the behaviors hold good. One dominates in some situation and the other works in the rest situation. It is necessary. One dominates in some situations means when we are studying radiation in a particular pattern in terms of electromagnetic radiation, in terms of visible light, or in terms of photoelectric effect, you will experience that the energy packets, which are called as photons, light energy packets, when they have certain momentum, they are called as quanta. So this is the difference which you need to understand. When they are observed, they will dominate a situation, like a photoelectric effect on metallic surface, photoelectric effect in the semiconductors, and in the rest of the situation they behave differently. Later it turned out to be in such a pattern. This phenomena is termed as wave particle duality of electromagnetic radiation. Means the light can behave like a wave, the light also can behave like a particle, is what is being considered. Then we will come to the next concept, which is called as the photocell. Photo, the word photo speaks about light. When is this photocell used? This photocell is used as a device, and it is an outcome of photoelectric effect. Photocell is a device that makes use of photoelectric effect and converts light energy into electrical energy. The diagram is being displayed on page 316 in 14.7 figure. Here you will see that they have used a microammeter, then they have used a cell, then there is internal variable resistance of the cell. If you see the apparatus of the photoelectric cell, or you can say the photo cell, there inside you have a cathode, you have an anode. The light falls on the cathode, and there is a light window. This window is responsible for the light to fall on it and to give us the desired output. So let us first study the parameters of this cell. This cell is a normal cell and not a semiconductor cell. In that is the you cannot say it is a semiconductor cell, rather you have to say it as a photodiode. That photodiode works in reverse bias condition. Here the positive terminal of the cell is connected to the anode and the negative terminal of the cell is connected to the cathode. So it consists of a semi-cylindrical photosensitive metal plate, which is called as E. Then a wire loop collector C, acting as anode, is supported in a evacuated glass or quartz bulb. The electrodes are connected to an external circuit having high tension battery and a microammeter. Microammeter is very sensitive to flow of electric current. It will immediately give you certain amount of deflection. Then comes the next part, the electrodes. The electrodes are connected to an external circuit. This external circuit is nothing but your cell, and Then we come, instead of a photosensitive metal plate, photosensitive material can be pasted in a thin form, in the thin film form on the walls of the inner glass bulb. Remember, this glass bulb is made from quartz or evacuated glass, which is of very expensive, which is expensive in price. Where is this quartz found? This quartz is found in quartz watches or quartz wall clocks, which are expensive. They are responsible for producing vibrations which allows the second hand of your watch or your clock to rotate. When light of suitable wavelength falls on the cathode, now how it operates, that we will study. When the light of suitable wavelength falls on the cathode, the photoelectrons are emitted. These electrons are attracted towards the anode due to the applied electric field. The generated photocurrent is noted from the microammeter. Photocell is used to control systems and light measuring devices. Here, the luminous intensity of light, which is a quantity, it is counted in candela. Candela is its unit. There, this photoelectric effect is used. Now, where it is used? It is used in photographic cameras. Make use of photocell to measure the light intensity. This application is also available in another form in your mobile phone, which you use always to click various photos. Photocell can also be used to switch on and off street lights. This experiment everybody loves to perform, and this experiment many a times is used in the science exhibition by the students. Suppose the source of ultraviolet radiation is kept in the passage or the entrance of the mall or the house. The light may is made incident on the cathode of the photocell. The photocurrent is generated when the person passes through the passage or comes near the incident light. The beam will get interrupted and the photocurrent stops. This event can operate the using counting devices to set a burglar alarm. Such arrangements can be used to identify traffic law defaulters by setting these alarms and the photocells at your signal and at the zebra crossing of your signal. Also, such devices are used in various museums, jewelry museums. They are used in various jewelry shops also to protect expensive jewelry such that nobody can rob it away. It is very difficult to pass through the beam and steal the object. This circuit is quite easy to be produced. Instead of photoelectric cell or photocell, people use light dependent resistor, which is LDR. It also performs the similar kind of function as that of the photocell. After this, you might be having a question, is solar cell a photocell? No, solar cell cannot be called as a photocell because it is photo emissive cell and not directly called as the photo effective cell. Mainly it is a cell, it is a surface which absorbs the flow of whom light rays. These light rays are responsible for production of the current inside it. After producing current inside it, what happens exactly with it? After producing current, any idea? It stores that current in form of voltage in some other cell. Okay, so I hope you have understood everything till here. In the next segment I will teach de Broglie's hypothesis in today's lecture. One more thing about the Compton effect I wanted to tell you all. If you all check in the segment of do you know, the particle nature of the radiation is seen in black body radiation and photoelectric effect. If in the former, near the room temperature, the radiation is almost in the infrared region, while in later it is in the visible light region and then in the ultraviolet region. The third experiment, which was established that a photon possesses momentum like the particle, was being told by Compton in the Compton scattering effect, where X-rays and gamma rays interact with the matter. In 1923, scientist A. H. Compton made a monochromatic beam of X-rays of a certain wavelength lambda incident on the graphite sheet in order to measure the intensity of the scattered rays in different directions as a function of wavelength. Further, I would like to tell you he found that although the incident beam consisted of a single wavelength lambda, the scattered intensity was maximum at two wavelengths. One of these was the same as the incident wavelength, but the other lambda dash was larger than the amount. So they got delta lambda, which is called as the Compton shift or the shift in the angle. Moreover, Compton explained in his observations by considering incidence of X-ray beam on graphite as a collision of X-ray photon. Means first they considered the beam nature, in which they considered the wave nature of the X-ray, and in the later part they considered the particle nature of the X-ray, where they called the X-ray as photon. Like collision of the billiards ball, energy and momentum is transferred by using the collision effect, which happens during the transfer of energy, and scattered photons have lower energy than the incident photons, therefore they have lower frequency and higher wavelength, is what is being understood to us. Then they have given once again the photon shift relation. With this, I think we have completed the concept associated with Compton effect. In the second part of today's lecture, I will teach you de Broglie hypothesis.